having preferences over expectations, because expectations actually fuels the emotional thread, and preferences they don't, right? So if there's something that we really want, if we put it into the bucket of a preference, then if it doesn't happen, we're okay. It's like, it's like, well, if, I'm going to the store and I want to get something, but they don't have it or they ran out of it. Okay. So I'll have to, plan B. But then I think you're also talking about, people who are financially wealthy have a command over. And so there is an expectation, but I think it goes to a different level. And that level is commanding. They expect it. They believe in it as if I believe in the color of my hair. Right? They don't think twice about something, because what is money? Money is energy. Everything is energy. And so to talk about what you were saying, there is a judgment that oftentimes happens. And you were making a comment of, you were doing some work with and playing on different sets of different charity and fundraisers. And I know, and I've been to a lot of charity and fundraisers, and I know a lot of people who are beyond a wealthy scope, right? I mean, of what we would consider to be wealthy. And many of those people are incredibly generous. And they often are very anonymous in their generosity. And there is something very interesting. So I almost interrupted you, Chris, when you said, when you're taking a selfie at the same time that you're being generous. And I don't think that that's the definition of abundance. Because from an energetic perspective, if our intention is actually doing something that is a little bit more ego-driven to be seen, even though an act may be of kindness, there is it almost as if it cancels out.
Yeah, it's like a disconnect, right?
It's a disconnect. So instead of it thinking, that energy kind of is that stone's throw, that pebble in the pond, the ripple effects probably aren't going to show up for you like you think it may show up, because our intentions are also a vibrational frequency. And so what do we need? At the end of the day, what do we need in order to actually be in a state of abundance is to love thyself, is to know thyself, is to love ourselves so much that nothing else matters. And that is I think that most people, and I don't, maybe that's even a judgment, but a lot of people think that abundance means something outside of themselves, as you said earlier, Chris. But true abundance is what feels and fuels the self. It's self-awareness. It's mindfulness. It's mindful breathing. It's mindful eating. It's mindful speaking. It's mindful listening. It's having such love for self that we want to do kindness and nurture ourselves. We want to further our own pursuits. We want to find what our purpose is. All of these things are part of an abundance mindset. And I can guarantee you, listener, and if you like what we're saying, please give us some thumbs up here and give us some comments, because I can tell you, you do that for a week and you focus on your own self-love and you raise your vibrational frequency, I guarantee you the things that you really want, A, they'll show up in a way that you didn't expect. And B, they may actually show up only because you're not putting the attention on. Because when we focus on what we want so much on the outside that we don't have, even on the inside, I don't have the love, we're only going to get that which we don't want. So we have to really be mindful about what we're focusing on.
Yeah, it's like a lot of the times when we're really wanting financial abundance, all we can focus on is how much we don't have. And when you focus on how much you don't have, and I'm very well versed in this area, and it is challenging, and I totally can empathize with the audience when you're like, yeah, but how? Or, okay, fine, but it's like, how do I get out of that? And I wanted to offer one tool that's really helped me, especially more recently, is my kind of rediscovery of human design and learning how I operate through human design and how I manifest and how I bring in the things that I want into my reality. We do have different ways that work perhaps a little bit better for our natural way of being, to bring these things in, to bring in the abundance that we're looking for. And so I learned through my rediscovery of human design that one of the best ways that I can manifest is by informing people. So just by saying, hey, like, we'll talk about the financial side. So, hey, I'm looking for some new work opportunities to bring in, more financial abundance. What do you got? Like, do you have anything in your network or in your community that you might, be able to connect me with? Things like that. Just asking, just informing. You don't even have to ask. You're just informing them. Hey, this is what I'm working on right now. Hey, this is what I'm doing right now. That for me has helped significantly, even just in the last month, to bring in actually so much opportunity that I'm totally overwhelmed, and it's amazing.
That's
So,
fantastic.
so human design, and I'm going to put it in the show notes below. So
Okay.
everyone, check out the link where you can sign up for your own free human design chart and explore
Hmm.
that. Let us know in the comments if you feel that it resonates at all with you.
Yeah, so human design was kind of a brainchild, I think, from Richard Rudd, who created the Gene Keys, who I have been following and studying the work of Gene Keys since it wasn't even a book.
Wow.
Richard, if you ever listen to this, it was in a binder, so I was able to take the pages out. Anyway, that was back in like 2011, something like that,
These are
2010.
really amazing too. Yeah.
The Gene Keys are incredible, and you can also get a free profile.
Yeah.
And one of the things is so interesting about the human design and the Gene Keys is that is a really wonderful way of discovering some things about yourself, because they're based on your patterns. They're based on obviously it's your birth chart, your name, your date of birth, you know the time, that kind of thing. But there is a very, very important signature template that each one of us has. And based on what, you know, this information, it spits out this wonderful amalgamy of I think, a living library of ways in which we are able to attune or retune to not only some of our triggers, right? But then how do we get out of those triggers, or can we transcend those triggers to a gift?